Hello and welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Saturday. It is the weekly energy card reading, and what that is that every Saturday I let you, the viewer, choose from one of 3 tarot decks, and then I would go ahead and do a card spread to see what the general energies will be for the next 7 days. This is what we card readers refer to as a universal reading. I do put the date stamp of March 28th through April 4th. But if you are drawn to this reading at any other time, please feel free to watch the video, as there may be messages that are contained for you. I always say, just take what resonates and leave the rest. So this is just a general idea of what the next 7 days will bring. Now I'm doing kind of a special theme. What had happened, what it is that tomorrow is National Mermaid Day. And I know that's kind of a girly national day to do, but I've been trying to do more additional readings, for the national days and for special occasions. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make it kind of a water theme. All 3 of the decks are kind of watercolor based. The first deck is the White Sage Tarot by Theresa Hutch, and with it I have a beautiful double pearl. And then the second deck is the Linestrider Tarot by Siolo Thompson, and I have kind of a blue fluorite stone. And then the third one is the Zillich Tarot, and with it I have a green kind of clear stone. I still haven't figured out what this is. If anybody knows, please tell me. And to help clarify, I'm going to go ahead and use this is going to seem like kind of a cheesy deck, but believe it or not, the author is a PhD, like she's a psychologist, and the messages are just really lovely. But it is kind of messages from your Mermaids and Dolphins, which I know seems really cheeseball, but I love these cards. I pull these cards for myself just about every single night. And so I'm going to, after we do your read with your tarot, I'm going to pull one of these cards to help clarify. Now, also, just to sweeten the deal, tomorrow I am going to do another pick a card reading. It'll be a set of 5 different choices, and what I'll do is I'm going to do a special theme for that, also for it being the National Mermaid Day itself. I just kind of wanted to do some fun extra things. This week has been, with world events and everything. I know it's been very stressful. A lot of people are working from home, and it's been a very challenging time as a state, as a nation, as a country, as a world. We are doing our best to manage in really difficult circumstances. We're doing our best to understand things that are going on in the world, and it's been a hard time. I'm actually a little bit tired. I've been working a lot this week, but I did want to go ahead and give you some extra card readings because I think it helps. It helps us check out, right? Sometimes you do have to turn off the news and just, kind of look at something else. And I always feel that cards, allow us to explore, just kind of turn inward for a little while. And I always think that's a good thing. But I can't believe it's already the beginning of April. The middle of the week will be April Fool's Day. I doubt that anybody will be doing anything real crazy on that day because, I saw a funny meme that said, there's April Fool's Day has been canceled because, there's nothing that can beat the craziness that's going on right now. So, but I do hope that everybody is doing their best to stay, to keep their spirits up, and I do think that that's really important. So we will celebrate National Mermaid Day, and we will do that. We'll keep our spirits up, and we'll keep reading. So I will stop talking, and I'll go ahead and let you choose your deck. So I'm gonna freeze frame the video. If you need more time, please feel free to pause. But I always ask, please choose from your gut instinct, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put our other decks, move them out of the way. Yeah, again, I am sorry if I'm a little slow moving today, guys. I am a little worn out. It's been a challenging week. I'm a little tired, but we're gonna keep on trucking. So we've got the first deck, which is the White Sage Tarot and the beautiful Double Pearl. This deck has a lot of really ocean kind of things. It has like sea dollars and sea lions and things. So deck number 1, what is the energy for your week? What is the energy for your week? And then, what's your energy for the middle of the week? What's our energy for the end of the week? Okay, and clarification. Oh, thank you. The other thing I love about this deck is that you do, it does also have ribbons on it which pertain to chakra colors. So it's what we call a pip deck, where, the minors are, if it's cups, you just see cups. You don't see a story the way that you would with the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. But even though it's a pip deck, the ribbon really, the chakra colors really help us get a clear story. So what is our oracle card? Deck number 1, what is our oracle for the next week? I'm going to go ahead and take the two cards that are on top. All right, so deck number 1. Oh, wow. Gosh, guys. At the beginning of the week, you got the Fool, which I think is so cute. It's a dog, right? From what I understand, it's the artist, the artist of this deck. That's her dog. And then you got the Ace of Cups, and I love the Ace. I love the cups in this deck because they're all coffee cups, lattes, which is so me, and the red ribbon. And then underneath it, you got the Four of Cups. And I think this is such a great picture of this card, because you see the 3 cups pouring, and then the cup is empty. It's not getting full, right? It's not getting full. So what I'm seeing in the way that it falls here, is that the Four of Cups is at the bottom, and then it's almost like a tree that's growing, or a plant that's growing. It grows into the Ace of Cups, and then the Fool. So I think by the beginning of your week, I get a really strong sense that in the past, or in the last couple of weeks, you've been really feeling kind of meh, you just kind of feel like, the other thing is, there's a really good rendition of this card with the Anna Kay tarot, that it kind of shows somebody being catered to. Like, people are bringing him, he's sitting at the table with his arms crossed, and everyone's bringing him things, but he's really not acknowledging it. And I'm sorry, I hope that makes some sense. I'm sorry again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little lethargic. I'm gonna get warmed up here. Please bear with me. But the Four of Cups is kind of like that. It's not, it's not kind of a rude, like you don't appreciate what's given to you. But a lot of times it's just kind of like, it's just feeling kind of numb, right? It's kind of feeling like you have a lot of really good things around you, and you know that you have a lot of good options, but you're feeling kind of like that empty cup, right? And again, with things going on in life right now, I think a lot of people are feeling that way. It's like those persons who are blessed to have the ability to work from home. That's a blessing, right? But it's an adjustment. Working at home, it's in psychology, they talk about the 3 places. You have, home is your first place, work or school is your second, and then where you go to socialize is your third. And, social media really took away our third place. And then now all of a sudden with the quarantines, home is all that you really have, right? And that's not the social norm, right? It's not the social norm. So here I'm kind of getting that vibe, because again, you went from having 3 places to having 1. And that one place is just kind of like, again, we're social creatures, being forced to stay in one place or not being able to go out places or have, I'm really getting a sense like the separation of your spaces. It's really starting to weigh on people. And that's a psychological thing. It's not normal for us to just be indoors all the time. But I am kind of getting that vibe, like you've just been feeling kind of numb, and it could be because of world events. It could be a little bit of a relationship vibe here too. It could be that you feel like you're surrounded by a lot of really outgoing people, but you're still feeling kind of like, blah. Again, it's kind of like that meh card, just feeling kind of like you're not feeling like yourself. And what I like about this is that it is the root of the problem. It means that this is where you started, but by the beginning of the week, you are gonna either find a connection with someone, or I really kind of feel like this is a connection with yourself. Like the Ace of Cups can be a lot of self-care or a lot of self-love, and again, and then that Ace of Cups goes straight into the Fool. So it's almost as if I feel like you're coming out of a 4 of Cups energy, like you've been feeling really out of sorts, you have not felt like yourself, and then by the beginning of the week, you're just going to kind of have a blossoming. The other thing is with this red ribbon, it's the root chakra, so it really talks about security. So I really do feel like by the beginning of next week, you're going to feel like you're secure. You're going to feel like you have everything that you need. But the other vibe that I'm getting is that you're going to feel very self-sufficient. I almost feel like you might be getting a new wind, like a second wind, but you are coming out of a kind of a lethargic or kind of feeling a little, just kind of like not yourself. And it isn't because of what's around you. You have a lot around you that's giving, you have a very abundant environment, but you just, again, it's almost as if you kind of have to get acclimated or get ready to go to be yourself. I do. Both the Ace of Cups and the Fool are beautiful starts, right? It's a beautiful beginning to something. And so this could involve another person, because the Ace of Cups can be a love, but the fact that I see 1 cup and 1 dog, I really feel like this is you. So I do think that, you're going to feel like you're going to have a little bit of a fresh start, starting next week. The other thing that I kind of get with this too is that maybe you've been really giving a lot, like you've been giving a lot, but you really haven't let yourself receive a whole lot. And we're going to get to that in a minute when we get to your oracle cards. Now, the Sun wanted to come out, and I was kind of getting this feeling as if it was the root of it's almost like an underlining theme of all of these cards, because by the middle of the week, you got the 2 of Swords. And the 2 of Swords, again, it's the green represents the root chakra. The heart chakra, and the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords is it's usually the kind of pushing down your feelings a little bit. It's almost like you're staying in your head. You're staying in your head because you really don't, I get this feeling like you don't want these emotions to come back up again, right? You don't want to go back to feeling meh. You want to stay in a happy place. But the interesting thing is that I'm seeing a lot of, if I had to call it, guys, next week you might be going through some highs and some lows. Because this is a little bit of a lethargic card, but then all of a sudden you get this burst of self-confidence and you're really ready to take on the world. But then by the middle of the week, you're feeling, it's almost like you're keeping yourself in your head so you don't have to feel your heart. And that's not to say that you're repressing your feelings, but you're definitely, I'm really getting a vibe as if you're, I'm getting the feeling as if you're trying to stay in control. You're trying to stay in control. And, you know, again, this could be work related, it could be family related. Right now, it's been a very stressful time. You know, maybe you have children who are at home, and you have to be teacher and, you know, and spouse and worker, and and you're trying to keep it together. It's like by the middle of the week, you're really just trying to keep in a good headspace. You're keeping everything balanced, right? But by doing that, there might be some stirred emotions under the surface. Now, underneath it, the overall theme, you definitely got the sun. And that is such a bright card. I mean, you got the sun, the Ace of Cups, and the Fool. And that's a really, really bright spread, guys. So I really get the feeling as if, you know, wherever you can find happiness, I just get feelings like you're going to have bursts of happiness throughout the week. And I'm really getting this sense like you really need to enjoy those moments. Enjoy those moments, because you are coming from points of feeling stuck and feeling like, you know, I'm almost getting like you're keeping up a good front. You know, let me stay in my head, because if I get too into the feels, I might go back to that really, you know, kind of, you know, that meh place, right? And then by the end of the week, you got the Seven of Cups and you got the Four of Pentacles. So definitely, guys, the Seven of Cups is, again, another heart chakra card. And it means being kind of lost. It means like not quite knowing where to go next. And the Four of Pentacles is, you can see it's beautiful in this deck. All the pentacles are sand dollars. But the Four of Pentacles is really kind of holding on. It's kind of holding on to what's yours. It can be money, but usually it's holding on to what you value. So it's almost as if, I am definitely getting kind of feeling like, again, it's going to be kind of highs and lows. There's going to be moments where you really feel like you're ahead of the pack. Like you might have a few moments where you really stand out and shine, is what I'm getting. So this could be work related. But then there's going to be the undercurrent or the underpinning of those highs are going to be moments of feeling like, oh gosh, can I do this? You know, maybe you are starting to feel a little burnt out or tired, but you do have some really bright moments here. And the other thing with the sun is that the sun brings everything to light. So I do see that by the end of the week, maybe you are going to be in a little bit more of you might be thinking about budgeting, or you might be, again, you know, with all of the world events going on, there's a lot of persons who are not working right now, and definitely that's you know, scary. It's like maybe at the beginning of the week you thought, okay, I can handle this, we're going to be okay, we're going to do this, and then by the end of the week, when you're actually doing the budgeting, you feel like, oh gosh, you know, where is this going? How much longer can we do this? You know, how are we going to manage this? And it's feeling a little bit of a lack, like almost like you have to hold on, you know, you have to hold on. But I do see that the overall theme is the sun. So I do think that by the end of the week, if you are worried or if you are feeling kind of lost and like, you know, like you have to really budget strongly, that you're going to get some insight about it. Maybe, you know, again, as things unfold on the news, you'll get some news as to, you know, either that, or if you're working, you know, kind of a side job, you know, maybe you'll get some good news about, you know, something that you can do in the interim. But I do see that by the end of the week, you're just really gonna not know know which direction that you should choose. Like, it's almost like you have several different opportunities, you have several different choices, but you're really just kind of holding on to where you're at. and you're not really going to know where to go next. But just know that that's a fleeting energy, that's just temporary. Again, this is just 1 week. And the overall theme is the sun, so that's very bright. I'm getting more positive, almost as if you have options. You have options, right? But you are, I do see a little bit of holding on to money, so maybe you're discerning, you know, what move to make, right? And of course, everybody's really upturned. Everyone's affected by what's going on in the world. So you got the 2 cards. You got let yourself receive, allow others to give you loving care, receive without guilt or apologies. And then self-employment. You're a born entrepreneur and your business is surrounded by magical opportunities. Oh my gosh, guys, I hadn't even read that. Look at that. So remember how earlier I was saying that it looks like, you know, it looks like you have things around you that are pouring into you, but you're still not, it's almost like you're not receiving. So here it is, the universe, the advice is definitely let yourself give. Maybe you've been giving a lot to others, and maybe there's an opportunity here, something that would really fill your cup, right? You know, the other thing is that with all this change, you know, maybe there's an opportunity to do something different, and now is the time to change gears. But maybe you're afraid. You're weighing out the pros and cons, and you know, trying to be cautious about, you know, making any type of change. But self-employment, and there you go. Again, you know, I am kind of getting that makes more sense actually. You know, maybe there's some opportunities coming, and you're not sure which cup to go with, right? But I do get the sense like this, you know, one of these opportunities could make you happy. And here it really is kind of saying, you know, you're a born entrepreneur and your business is surrounded by magical opportunities. So again, you know, maybe all of this change can spark the idea to do something new. And, you know, it may not be, you know, you're not going to know in 1 week, you know, which direction you're going, and you might be worried about your finances, but I do see this as being extremely positive, guys. It's very bright. And definitely if you are feeling a little bit empty, you know, there are people around you that want to give to you, or there's little gifts that are being sent your way. So, you know, don't be afraid to receive. All right, guys. Well, that was really beautiful. I liked that. Okay, so let's move on to deck number 2. So deck number 2, we got the Linestrider Tarot with our blue fluorite. This is such a bright stone. It's hard to see in the dark light, but okay. So deck number 2, what's our energy for the next 7 days? My deck number 2s. What's the energy for the next 7 days? Number 2, what's our energy for the next 7 days? Okay, in the middle of the week. What's our energy for the middle of the week? I'm actually really wondering if that was your spread. You know, the Fool is trying to come out too, so that came out in the last read. I'm going to go ahead and read it like this. I hope you guys don't mind. Let's go ahead and see. All right, and let's go ahead and let's get your oracle card. What's our oracle card for deck? Oh, all right. Wow, we're getting a kind of general theme of kind of exploring your options. But so by the beginning of the week, you got the 7 of Pentacles, and this is really a beautiful card. All of the artwork is really There's a few cards that are understated, but they're so pretty. But the Seven of Pentacles is kind of that, you can see a bird in their nest, right? And they're kind of, the Seven of Pentacles is typically a card of evaluation. It's a farmer kind of looking at their crops, and they're determining, you know, okay, how fast is this crop, you know, growing? When is it going to be harvested? You know, is it enough? You know, is it enough? Is it what I want, right? So, but the beginning of the week, you're really going to be in that energy. You're going to be kind of looking at, you know, and this could be for family matters. It can be work related, but you're kind of looking at your life, whether that be, you know, whether that be work or home. I'm just going to get some clarification. Is this work or home? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I definitely see that this might be, yeah, okay. Now, this, if it's a personal one, I really do think you got, clarifying the Seven of Pentacles, you got the Queen of Wands. And so I do get kind of a vibe of if you're a woman, you can be a man watching this reading and be in the Queen of Wands energy. But what it is that I do think that you're kind of in your power. The Queen of Wands is a very dynamic woman. She's a very dynamic character. She's very warm and nurturing. She's creative, and she owns her own identity, right? She knows who she is, right? So it's almost as if I'm getting a strong instinct that, you know, it's almost as if you're looking at everything in your life. You're looking at work, you're looking at school, you're looking at your relationships, and you're like, okay, is this what I want, right? Is this me, right? And you're just kind of doing an evaluation. You're kind of doing an evaluation. I'm also getting a sense like you're getting an evaluation of what makes you happy. It's like, okay, this is my life. This is my nest, right? This is your nest, right? And you know, you spent years, you know, flying out in the world and getting the little pieces of twine, getting the twigs to you know, create your nest, right? But here I get the feeling as if you're kind of looking at it and thinking, okay, am I where I want to be? Is this what I want, right? Is this me? And I think that, you know, with world events, maybe this has to do with work. Maybe you're questioning, okay, the line of work I'm in doesn't make me happy. It could also be relationships. We talked a lot last week about how, you know, with this quarantine, you kind of have to ask yourself, okay, who would I want to be quarantined with? You know, if I were to get sick, who would I want to take care of me? You know, it's kind of like that. So I do think that times like these really do test our relationships, right? It really tests us. It says, okay, you know, where is our support system, right? Am I happy with my support system? But the Queen of Wands is she's a very independent character. So here I am just getting a vibe of like, okay, you know, am I where I want to be in life? And is this what I want to do? Is this what I want to continue to do? And now by the middle of the week, I am seeing people in the mix here. I'm seeing people in the mix. I think by the middle of the week, you might be dealing with somebody who's a little bit of a Knight of Wands character. Again, you know, it can be male or female, but I'm also getting a vibe like this. You've got the Knight of Wands with two major arcanas underneath, and that's spontaneous energy. The Knight of Wands is like, he's not a king or a queen, but he goes after what he wants, right? He's a fiery character. And again, this could be your energy. By the middle of the week, you might be going after what you want, right? The beginning of the week, you're in your feelings, right? The other thing about queens is that they are the feelers, they're the nurturers, right? And you're kind of in your feelings, you're in your fire feelings of like, okay, where do I want to be? Where do I want to go? And then by the middle of the week, you're either going to be dealing with somebody who's a Knight of Wands character, or you're going to be feeling like the Knight. Like the Knights go on missions, right? And they're a very young adult energy. They're not children, but they don't have the maturity of the kings and queens. They go out on adventures and they go on missions, right? And underneath the Knight of Wands, you've got the Chariot crossed by Judgment. And the Chariot is that full speed ahead. It's victory, right? And but it came at a cross, it came at a block, was Judgment. So again, I have a feeling as if by the middle of the week, you're going to be really gung-ho to do something. You're going to be feeling, if anything, you might be feeling restless. Maybe there's something that you really want to go for something. You've thought about what you want, and you're ready to charge forward after that thing, after what you want. But right now, Judgment at the crossroads is saying that's not a wise thing to do. Right now is not the time, right? Right now is not the time, but look at how many horses you got here, right? Your horses want to run, they want to go, they want victory. And the other thing is, the thing about Chariot is that you have a lot of victory cards here, I get the feeling that whatever endeavor that you'd want to go towards, you would be victorious at. It's almost like the Chariot's like saying, if you were free to run right now, you'd get it. You would cross that finish line, you'd be fine. But the Judgment card is called a calling, right? And it is judging the behavior too. It's kind of like saying, okay, you got to think about this. The other thing is that they have a mask on that looks like it's kind of almost pulled off, right? It's almost pulled off. So the other inkling that I'm getting is that maybe in the past you had a certain persona, or there was like you had a certain identity, and maybe your identity is changing, or the face that you put on, it's a little tough because the Queen of Wands is just the real deal. Like what you see is what you get. And the Knight of Wands is in the same energy too. He's a go-getter. The only thing is that the Knight of Wands can be a little bit, he's an in and out type of energy. 1 minute he could be all for it, the next minute he could not be all for it. And that could be this interpretation too, is that if this is manifesting, if by the middle of the week you're dealing with a Knight of Wands character, it could be that this person is gung-ho 1 minute, and then the next minute they're like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, let me think about this. Hold up, wait a minute, And the thing about Judgment though is that, if this is your energy by the middle of the week, you're being really called to do something. You're being really called to do something. But I think what's happening is that you got a lot of energy, but it's being blocked a little bit because you have to slow down and think, right? You have to be real clear about what it is that you're going for before you go after it. And that's going to be the energy of the middle of the week. So I'm sorry to kind of give two interpretations there. You're either dealing with someone who wants to charge forth after you, but they're being blocked, or they're holding back because now is not a good time, or but the calling is there. Either that, or you're being called to do something. You really want to charge forward with something, but you're slowing down because you have the calling to do it, but something about that calling is delayed right now. You don't want to, you shouldn't rush ahead. And it could be these world events, right? A lot of times starting new projects right now would probably not be real fruitful because, everybody is in self-quarantine. Now, by the end of the week, you got the High Priestess. And gosh, guys, what a gorgeous card. Look at how much major you have in here. You've got the Chariot, you got Judgment, and you got the High Priestess. And the High Priestess she sits back and she waits, right? And she's knowledgeable, right? She has a quiet quiet spirituality. So what I'm getting is by the middle of the week, you're going to feel like torn. It's almost like you want to charge ahead, but you shouldn't. And by the end of the week, I think you're really going to go within. You're going to lean back. The other thing about the High Priestess is that she leans back. You're going to spend, by the end of the week, you're going to be you're going to turn to your inner knowing to get the answer as to what you should do. Because I do think that there's some kind of energy that's either coming towards you or that's firing you up. And by the end of the week, you're gonna have all the information. The High Priestess is very much like the Hermit in a lot of ways, except I did How to Tarot on the High Priestess. If you want to watch it, I think that the details of that would be really helpful, and as you get towards the end of the week. No obligation, but it's just as you get to Friday, Saturday, and you get into this High Priestess energy. And it's under the How to Tarot under my playlist. But the High Priestess, she's the guardian of the veil of the real, of the material world, the conscious and the unconscious. So I think that you really will, maybe some kind of offer will be presented to you, or maybe again with all of those feelings of wanting to charge ahead, but okay, is now the right time? By the end of the week, I think you're going to be turning to your dreams. You're going to be turning to meditation, and you're really just going to kind of pull within. You're going to lean back and think, okay, what should I do? Because the answer is going to be inside of you, right? The answer is in your subconscious. The answer is within you. You have all the answers. And gosh, guys, the other thing is that, can I just tell you with these cards, if this is a different person, I'm getting a strong vibe that, your energy is the Queen of Wands and the High Priestess, and you rock on with your bad self, because you're going to be looking really darn attractive. I know that all of us are stuck inside, and we have been like wearing sweatpants and, hair up, messy bun, getting stuff done. But can I just tell you, if this Knight of Wands is someone who's approaching you, they think you are the bee's knees, and you really are coming across as the bee's knees. You're looking like, tell me she is, because the Queen of Wands is usually movie star kind of, she has her own style, she rocks that style, and look at that stare, seriously. And the High Priestess, I've always said, is the it girl card. She's mysterious, and she, again, if you get a chance to watch the How to Tarot and High Priestess, we talk about all of that. But what it is that, I always joke with the High Priestess card. Have you ever had those situations where, when a guy approaches you and you don't need a man, right? Like when you're in that energy of like, I know myself, I know my conscious, I know my unconscious, I know what I need. It's that quiet self-sufficiency. It's almost like you don't need anything. It isn't that you don't want a relationship, but you don't need one. But you choose. The power is with you, and that makes you really darn attractive. What that is that makes you like the it girl, because everyone, and again, you can be a man watching this reading and exuding this energy, but it makes the opposite sex or the opposite gender really attracted to you, because they want to know your secrets. They want to know why you're so quiet and self-satisfied, and just you're at peace with yourself. And again, that's going to be your energy at the end of the week. The answer is going to be within you. But and then your oracle card, you got explore your options. And oh my gosh, guys, I'm really drawn by the crowns here too. If you look at the crown and the Queen of Wands, and then you look at the crown, it almost looks like horns. And then you look at her crown, especially with the High Priestess too. Look at that. Tell me that's not a synchronicity. And the way that she's looking downward. So I do think, I get a feeling like this is an offer, guys. And by the end of the week, you're going to be considering that offer. But you're going to be doing it from a very balanced place, and you're going to lean back. It's time to look at other possibilities. It's a good time to make changes. Oh my gosh, guys. And again, you're in your power. You're in your power, and I think you're going to be presented with an opportunity to change, or you're going to have an idea that you're really passionate about. But I think you're doing the right thing. By the end of the week, you're really just going to kind of, again, get quiet, turn, check in with your subconscious is what I would say. Check in with your subconscious, because it's there and it's speaking to you, and you're in tune. You're the high priestess. You're in tune. All right, guys. Well, that's a really beautiful week. I am happy for you. That's awesome. All right, one last pile. So let's go ahead. And we got my green unidentified stone. It's so pretty though. And my your Zillich tarot. So let's go ahead and, oh, thank you. Oh gosh, these are just coming out. And end of the week, please. Okay, sorry guys, that's way too many cards. Okay, one card for the end of our week, please. Still, that's so many cards. That's the third time the Fool has come out. Okay, our common denominator card this week is the Fool, guys. And we got Prince of Discs, Knight of Wands, Prince of Swords. We got 2 kings here. No, I'm sorry, we got 1 king and 2 knights. Wow. 1 king and 2 knights. Rock on, guys. Okay, so end of our week, please. 1 card. Thank you. Yay. Look at that. Oh, and the 9 of Cups one pops out. It came out again. You saw that, guys. It flipped. I'm not doing any fancy card tricks. It did something like that in my hand, and I pulled it. I had shuffled it back in. Ooh, all right. Sorry. I get excited. See, that's good. I started off slow, and I always feel bad. The first pile always gets me when I'm warming up. I've got to start. I promise you, I'm going to start throwing cards a little bit before I get started. But all right, I'm making no sense today. All right, our oracle card, deck number 3, our oracle card. I'm so excited for you guys. All of us have really jumpstart weeks. Like, again, with all that's going on, I'm happy to see this type of energy. Either that, or we're all at home and we're stir crazy and we're losing it. No, I'm kidding. I promise you, I don't see any losing it cards. You're fine. You're fine. It's fine. We're all fine. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I have done this every single reading I've had one deck that gets deck 3 gets the laughing fit this week. I promise you. I am sane, I promise you. Actually, I got a care package from my mom. She sent me toilet paper, so I'm good. We are fine. We're all fine. But I sincerely hope, if you're watching too, and I don't mean to joke about this, you laugh or you cry, right? It really is. It's been a struggle. The struggle has been real. But I sincerely hope, I'll just take a moment to say that I hope everyone is watching is okay. I pray that you have what you need, and that if you don't, that it comes to you, that whatever you need comes to you, okay? But all right, so I've laughed, I've cried, let's go ahead. But the beginning of the week, you got the Princess of Discs, and that's the page of Pentacles. And I do love this card. The other thing is, I think just about every single deck has had some kind of antlers. Like the last deck had I'm just going to pull it out real quick. The High Priestess had kind of like, it's like the antlers, like a jackalope or something. I'm sorry to compare it to that, but that's what I think of, right? I am almost getting kind of a High Priestess energy from that, guys. So I'm seeing synchronicities, from the different piles. But the Princess of Discs is actually a really lovely card. Now in this deck, it really is supposed to be the page, and most of the time pages are novices. They're young. But here I'm seeing this as being definitely feminine with kind of a little bit of a baby bump. So I'm almost getting I'm getting almost a kind of Queen of Pentacles kind of vibe from this. Maybe you are of the earth like suit, like maybe you're a sun sign, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, or this could be a person that you know that, and you don't even necessarily have to be those sun signs or moon signs. If you know, it's always good to know your whole chart because you're so much more than just your sun sign. But what it is that I see that you're a nurturing person, and in the beginning of the week, you're really going to be deep in that energy. I think that you're going to be caring for people in a practical way. And the fact that I mentioned that, my mom sent me a care package with necessities, that's what I kind of get the feeling of. I feel like you're going to be, again, she's holding pentacles there. I think you're going to be, and again, pages are messengers. So I really do think that maybe you deliver goods to people, but at the beginning of the week, you're going to be doing that real nurturing thing of bringing people care packages. Maybe it's within your own family, or maybe just within your own household. Either that, or if this is not you, someone in your household, or a really nurturing woman who is, again, I'm getting like a cross between the High Priestess, the Empress, and the Queen of Pentacles with this. And I know it's just a page, but I just get this sense like you're either nurturing. It's not a swords card, so I do think that you're nurturing with words, but I think you're nurturing with if you've ever read the book that talks about the 5 love languages, you are nurturing with acts of service, right? It's either physical action that helps people physically, like maybe you're helping people out, like if somebody can't if someone's not mobile and able to clean, you'll come over and you'll bring them food, or, that's the other thing with the world events going on. If you know anyone who is over 60 that you could help that way, if they need help going to get groceries, it's really, really important that, that anyone who is susceptible to this, and it doesn't even have to be by age, it can be by someone who's just more immunocompromised, but I do get that sense that you're just going to be nurturing people in that way. You're going to be like a mother, and again, the horns, I'm getting a real spiritual. I also think that maybe you are helping people in a practical way, like I said with the first pile, a lot of these changes, when you work from home, or if you have to go to work and you're in a public, you're an essential worker, that's really stressful. And it's really hard when you have to serve customers face to face, but then you have to stay 6 feet from everyone else, right? I think that you're doing your best to help people keep on the level. Like I read this great article that talked about the things, it was by one of my favorite authors on happiness, and she was talking about the things that you can do to stay connected when you were in isolation. And I've mentioned before that it really is important to see people face to face. We are really lucky in the fact that we have, the technology to FaceTime. If you are missing someone, or even if it's your coworkers, it's very important to keep that morale up. I know for a fact I miss going in and seeing people face to face. Working from home is not the same. And so to either, maybe you have a Facebook thread, or maybe you do a chat thread each morning to kind of get, maybe you post funny memes, or, you do things to help people stay connected. But that article I read did talk about that, and I thought it was very insightful, where it talked about, seeing someone face to face is really great. Maybe if you go for a walk each day, if you FaceTime someone at the same time where you feel like you're walking with them, or if you just video chat them, also, the other thing it said that I thought was so great was it said, don't be afraid to be boring. And what that was is that, don't feel like you have to have something to talk about when you call someone during this time. Because, of course, the news topics, the topics of subject is going to be this scary virus that no one, you don't want to be talking about gloom and doom things. So sometimes talking about nothing is better than anything. You don't have to be entertaining right now. You can call up and just say, oh, it was really talk about the weather, and you don't have to be, you don't have to have endless information when you call someone, to keep in touch with them. And I get that vibe, like you're going to be someone who's really doing that for your community, for your family, and for your workplace at the beginning of the week. Now, by the middle of the week, you got the 5 of Cups, which is disappointment, but it's great, guys. You got it in reverse. So I definitely feel like by the middle of the week, maybe I am kind of getting a vibe like maybe you are impacted by what's going on. Maybe you haven't had a chance to. A lot of times a lot of people have had to give up, vacations, and and it's funny. I've learned how important vacations are through this experience. You know how it is, like the last time I went on vacation was like in October, and normally I take a few days off in the spring to get, you got to take a break to get your energy back. And here I get the vibe like, maybe you had to cancel your vacation, or maybe you had to, again, give up on these plans. I feel so bad for anybody who has a birthday right now. I know several people who were engaged to be married and were having, wedding showers that, had to be which is now virtual because of what's going on. I get the feeling like by the middle of the week, something is going to turn around. And the fact that I'm seeing kind of the rays, I know this is my tablecloth, but I'm seeing the rays of the sun behind it. I have a feeling that there's going to be something that happens in the middle of the week that makes you really happy. It's almost like, oh, well, I had to cancel my vacation, but I got a chance to do this instead. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, is that you're gonna find something, and that that's adheres to the rules right now, that adheres to social distancing, that's really going to be kind of fun. And it's going to take you out of that, it's going to take you out of that disappointed energy. You're going to be leaving that disappointed energy behind and doing something kind of exciting. The other thing is, I do feel so bad because like right now we're getting, this isolation is getting extended just about every single week. Every week we hear, okay, it's going to be another month, it's going to be another week. And a lot of students, the other thing is if you have children that are graduating, a lot of students are having to forego their graduation this year, and that's such a shame, right? Whether you're in high school and college and kindergarten, it's like you worked so hard to get that degree and walk. And now, it's just sad. We're doing our due diligence, but a lot of people are sacrificing a lot for that, So I have a feeling that maybe towards the middle of the week, maybe, and again, with this energy, maybe you found some kind of solution. I know in my family we do have a graduate that's supposed to be walking in May, and now it looks like that's not going to happen. So we're trying our best to find another way to celebrate, right? We're trying to find a way to make this a party without having people. So it makes us get creative, right? It makes us get creative. So I think by the middle of the week you're going to have some kind of success with that. And then oh gosh, guys, look at the end of your week. You got the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands. I love this guy. You can kind of see, again, it's all watercolor, but you see the wands at the cross and this hand, and this wand is on fire. And then underneath you got the 9 of Cups. So yeah, guys, I do think that again, we had a tarot on the Ace of Wands just a few weeks ago, so that's a fresh video. That's a fresh one. So the Ace of Wands is that great new idea. It's a great new start, and the Nine of Cups is bliss. It's being content. It's being like it does usually mean wish fulfillment. It means a wish coming true. So again, I have a feeling that, by the middle of the week, something's going to happen to take you out of a situation that had disappointed you. And by the end of the week, you're gonna feel real excited. You're gonna be, and again, with it being the Ace, it's like the start of a project. And but you're gonna feel like this is a gift. This is gonna be some kind of boon, and you're gonna be real excited. You're gonna be like ready to go. So I'm really excited for you, Pile 3. You have an excellent week. I really think, again, the week starts off very practically, but I do think that you're going to be nurturing other people. And, if this could also be another person who's nurturing you, but again, whoever it is, whoever is carrying this energy, definitely put that out in the world. We need a lot of that right now, right? We need to take care of each other at this time, right? And doing those little things. I really get the fact that it's the page, the princess. I do think it's those little things that make all the difference in the world, right? When you surprise your friend and Skype them and say, hey, I was thinking about you, it helps keep us together. And then, definitely by the middle of the week, I feel like you're going to be feeling so much better. There's going to be an end of disappointment, and the end of the week is really going to be exciting. It's going to be emotional bliss, and the start of something really exciting and new. I'm really excited for you guys. That's wild, guys. And then we have, at the end of the week, we've got your advice card is morning affirmations. Say positive affirmations each morning to open the gates of manifestation. Oh my gosh, guys. Again, I do feel like maybe this is something that you're doing. Maybe there's something on Facebook. Maybe it's a group chat. Maybe it's an email thread. I just get this feeling like you start each morning off on a good foot, and by the end of the week, you're really going to just feel excited about life again. There's going to be something going on that's just really going to feel like a gift. It's going to feel like a blessing, and it's going to have you all jazzed and ready to start something new. So that's a really wonderful week, guys. So please let me know how this manifests or how this resonates. If you feel like this is resonating, I'd really like to know. I love reading your stories. I do. I see these different energies, and I try to see what it's saying. But all right, guys, so that's our energy for the week. I am so glad to see that it's getting brighter, it's getting better, and as we go through the thick of this, we are in this together. So I'm hoping to see everyone have a really good week. Please feel free to tune in tomorrow. I am going to go ahead and make it a separate reading. I think that would be a nice thing to do. It'll be a real short one, but it'll be a pick a card, and it'll be to celebrate National Mermaid Day. So it's not all girly. You can be a guy checking it out, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you can stop back by. And if not, I'll see you next time, and see you later. Bye.